Hello everybody and welcome to this. It's the first in a brand new series of very exciting videos, the 100% Full Marks Secrets series. Now in the 2017 exams, a number of students achieved full marks in every question, 100% in the paper and a grade 9 for their GCSEs in either English language or literature or both. And I'm so happy to tell you that a number of those students have sent me their exam papers and asked me to use them in videos to help you guys. Isn't that amazing? So what we're going to look at today is just one paragraph from a full marks answer on Frankenstein, which was written by Isabel, and she sent it in really kindly to use in the video. By the way, if you completed the 2017 exam and got full marks in any question, feel free to send it to me, info@mrbruff.com. Now, what I don't want to do is show you the full answer or show you anything that would tell you what the exam question was, because what I don't want to do is ruin this for your mock exams, because you may well be sitting the 2017 exam for your mock, okay? But what I am able to do and have been able to do is just to pick out little bits of each student's answers which I want to talk to you about to demonstrate some of the amazing skills, because teachers, YouTubers, we can sit here and say, oh, you should do this and you should do this. But actually, if we have a paper that did achieve full marks or did achieve the highest band or did achieve a grade 9, then, let's just look at it, because we can give you all the theory in the world, but let's have a look at the actual paper. So this is Isabel's paper. We're just going to have a look at one section, and perhaps we'll have another look next week at something else that she wrote. So this is a paragraph that is about Victor and the creature. Okay, let's have a look. In contrast to this, at the denouement of the novel, we encounter the creature in the inhumane, bitter conditions of the Arctic Sea. Shelley surrounds his creator, Victor, as trapped in the fixed mentality of revenge towards the creature, and this draws reference to Dante's Inferno. Upon the ninth circle of hell is identified as being trapped in ice for those who have betrayed God. Shelley is perhaps suggesting that instead Victor was the evil figure, and in doing so, this the antithesis to the creature, who is in fact the kind yet lonely figure in the text. Now, let's just talk about a few things here. The first thing is, this is a great example of what the examiner's report has pointed out this year, and I've gone through it in previous videos, that there are no marks awarded and no credit given for people who drop in specialist terminology for the sake of using specialist terminology. So we see in Isabel's answer that she uses words like denouement and antithesis, but they don't have any ticks next to them. Those words in themselves haven't gained any marks for Isabel. All she's doing is using them, weaving them into her very clever analysis. So there are no marks awarded for just sort of being able to say, oh, look, I know this is the denouement. You don't get marks for that. But if you could reference it as part of your wider answer, that's all good. There's a really clever idea explored in the opening of this answer, which is to do with the symbolic or metaphorical meaning of the setting. So this is about the end of the novel, where the ship is stuck in ice in the bitter conditions of the Arctic Sea. And what Isabel has done here is that she suggested that actually the ship being stuck in the bitter conditions is a metaphor for Victor also being trapped, being stuck in a bitter condition of revenge. So there's a analysis here, which I think is a really good point that we can all learn from, which is to say, okay, when you're looking at something like the setting in your literature texts, you can ask yourself, is it possible that this has a deeper meaning, a symbolic meaning? We see in so many of the 19th century texts that things take place at night, things take place in the fog and the mist and the dark. Can that setting have some kind of symbolic or metaphorical meaning? Can you link it at that point in the text perhaps to the mentality of one of the characters, as Isabel has done so brilliantly here? Then we've got this reference to Dante's Inferno. Now, I know a lot of you will look at that and think, well, that's impossible. How am I supposed to know that? And I have to say myself, I did not know this about the idea of being trapped in ice from the ninth circle of hell, but it has got a tick, and I think it's a great example of the wise use of context. You see, context, AO3 in its broadest terms now, is not just what was going on at the time the text was written, but it can be the literary context. And this is an example of the literary context of the novel. The fact that actually, when Mary Shelley was writing about being trapped in ice, there's an intertextual link to another text. And actually, the understanding of that other text helps us in our understanding of what Mary Shelley is saying at this moment. Now, you might look at that and think, well, I don't know that, so how could I write something like that? But it's just being aware that there are references or intertextual links to other texts sometimes within the text that you're studying. And similarly, you might want to think about the genre of the text and how that is important. So it's a lovely contextual link here, and I think it's really well explored. So this is just one paragraph of the answer, and I think it is fantastic. I will continue this series if you want me to. So if you found this useful, please do give the video a thumbs up, and I'll take that as a nod that we should do another one in the series. But what have we learned from this video? There are no marks awarded for just dropping in specialist terminology. We knew that anyway, but you can build it in to a very coherent answer. That there's a lovely analysis of the setting here and how it is symbolic of something else, and that's really, really clever. And that there is some intertextual reference to another text that is actually specifically, obviously, a decision that Mary Shelley herself made. So very, very good. What else could we say? Short embedded quotations, this close analysis. You don't need huge quotations. Obviously, this is a question that is based on an extract, and this bit wasn't from the extract. So, the Isabel here had to use quotations that she had memorized. So short embedded quotations that flow as part of the paragraph are really important. But this is just one example. Now, let me know in the comments section what you think is good about this paragraph. Thanks again to Isabel for sending in the work. If you achieved 100% or the top band or grade 9 in your exams and want to send in your work to be featured in a video, and you can do that anonymously, or we can give you all the glory, then send it to info@mrbruff.com.